Hey guys, it's Drek, and I've gotten around to making a mod tutorial for my Nerf Airtech 3000. Really looking forward to this. It needs this pump replacement so bad. Without further ado, I'm going to start taking the screws off. Looks like they're all on this side. There isn't one on the back like there was on the Airtech 1000. So, I'll be doing this with a mini screwdriver because all of these screw heads look reasonably small, and I'll show you the internals when I'm done. Okay guys, so when opening your Airtech 3000 or AT3K, there's two screws in the pump. Take that off. There's a bunch of screws in the main body, but they're all the same size, so you remove that half. And now you can see the internals. There is the Liquitron gauge, there's the pump, and this mechanism right here is very interesting in that it controls how the pump rotates through the turret, and sadly, since the pump is terrible, I have to replace it. But I will show you how it works. When you pull the pump forward, it hits this flip, and that switch rotates through the turret. When you come back, it flips out of the way so that it doesn't impair more pumps. And then when you pull the trigger, it resets. So I'll show that to you one more time. When you pull the pump back, it rotates through, and when you pull the trigger, it resets. It's a very cool mechanism, and I don't think I'll be able to preserve it, which is a shame. This is the Liquitron gauge. It's its own standalone part of the tubing. I'm going to have to cut it out. I may leave it in for cosmetic reasons and put an LED in it or something cool, but I'll pressurize it halfway first so that you can see some of the fluid. This is so cool. It's a shame that it would explode if I left it in. This back blue part also probably could use an LED because it's transparent, and as I've mentioned before, I like transparent pieces a lot. Other than that, I'm going to start breaking it down. The turret needs an overhaul, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Alright guys, so these are the internals for my AT3K. You can see the Liquitron gauge is completely disconnected. I came in and took some of these washers from Lowe's. They're simple rubber washers with a 1 1/4 inch diameter, and I put them between the tank and the turret, and the turret's been completely rebarreled and gooped in with PETG. And then I came in with this, which is some folder material. It's a Flex View folder like you use for school, and I put that on the back of the turret so that now the washers in the turret have a great seal and the rear loading holes are really clean. I still need to cut a slot to do the rear loading. The only other thing I want to mention is that I've put in a Hornet pump replacement. It works the same way the original pump does, it's just much more comfortable and much better. And then that tubing from there will be connected to the tubing that goes to the tank. But I want to cut down this tubing to reduce some of the extra space, to reduce the pumps necessary to fill the blaster. So I'm going to cut that down, goop it into here, and then zip tie it down with a connector, and it should be ready to go. I may paint this blaster because it's turning out really nice, and I need to find a barrel spacer of some sort. Hey guys, this is the finished AT3K overhaul. Barrel spacer is pretty simple. It's part of the original turret and then a simple E-tape wrap. There's a guy named Venom who makes great barrel spacers for these blasters, but I just don't want to pay for him. He charges what I think is an awful lot for them, and unless you buy in bulk, it's kind of not worth it, so I make my own. It's the same reason that AT1K I did a while ago has kind of a weird barrel spacer. Anyway, this blaster has turned out very nice, and it's a very effective primary. It shoots multiple types of ammunition. Let me look around and see if I can find a streamline, but I can load it with the Southeast Pink Foam Steffens, which are of course slugs, and it's got a very convenient rear loading slot that I've carved into the back. I can also fire my original Drak darts, which have, this is a BB one. I also have a Nerfomania style slug. This is actually one that his girlfriend has made, which is why it's got the heart on it. And I'll fire another slug. Here's a streamline. The streamlines are a little trickier to use with the rear loading hole, but you can make them work. And then I have another Southeast slug. They're about to become my most consistent ammo type because I've got a very large order of them coming in. Here is the fully loaded turret. I'm going to blast them all off in order, and I'll rotate through it manually because now it's been removed. The 3K holds about 10 pumps, which is plenty, and I get remarkable ranges out of it. I feel like it's definitely punching 100 with the Steffens. The Streamlines, of course, Streamlines are weird, but they get phenomenal ranges as well, but they fishtail at the higher pumps. You can see that it's very quick to pump and fire. It's a remarkably solid blaster in that I can shake it and drop it and hit it, and the turret is very solid. The pump is very solid. Everything about it is very nice. The trigger pull is very easy, and even with fewer than the maximum amount of pumps, I get remarkable ranges. I'm very pleased with this blaster. I like everything about it. It was a fun project to overhaul. It's really cool. So that's my mod guide for the AT3K. You can overhaul this into a very effective war primary for a Nerf internet community war. Speaking of wars like that, there's one that I'm going to be going to very soon. It's called Namne. It's hosted in Fayetteville, Georgia on the 29th of this month, October, by my good friend Nerfomania. And I'm really looking forward to this war. It looks to be one of, if not the largest war in the state of Georgia, and I'll be talking about it over the course of my next few videos, and hopefully I'll get some footage, and I'll post some stuff from the war. But there's a lot of people who are very big in the Nerf scene coming. If you want to include myself, I don't know if I count quite yet. I will be going, a lot of my fans will be in attendance. Nerfomania is definitely a big name, and he'll be there. Chicken Co., which is kind of a family of Nerfers, is coming, and they have the old guy as well as Flying Chicken, who are both extraordinary players. Then we may be having Rogue come up from Florida, and he's definitely the best player in the Southeast, hands down. And we're all looking forward to his arrival. So we've got a ton of Nerfers, should have at least 20 players. It's going to be a lot of fun. The link to that war thread will be in the description box below. If you want to come, turn out. Everybody has loner blasters and darts to share, and it's just a ton of fun. So definitely, if you're in the Southeast, show up for that. Again, I'll be promoting it over the course of my next few videos. And as always, thanks for watching.